Hi, I'm George Woodbury from College of the Sequoias in Visalia, California, and in this video we're going to solve some word problems involving consecutive integers. Consecutive means that they run next to each other. So in this first problem where it says find two consecutive integers whose product is 72, I'm looking for two integers that are one apart from each other. If we let the first of the consecutive integers be represented by x, then the second can be represented by x plus 1, one more than that. And we're told that their product is 72, so that means if we multiply the first one by the second one, it's equal to 72. That's the equation that we need to solve here. We'll begin by distributing x on the left-hand side to give us x squared plus x equals 72. Now I want to subtract 72 over to the left side so that we have that trinomial equal to 0. X squared plus x minus 72 equals 0. Okay. Now, there are many ways that we can try to solve this, but first and foremost, we should go for factoring here because we know that the solutions are going to be integers. That means that this equation must factor. And it factors to be x plus 9 times x minus 8, still equal to 0. From the first factor, we get the solution x equals negative 9. The second, we get x equals 8. Now notice it doesn't say that these are positive consecutive integers, so either of these solutions are possible. Starting with x equals negative 9, x plus 1 would be negative 9 plus 1, or negative 8. So one pair of integers that have this product is negative 9 and negative 8. If we start with the other solution, x equals 8, x plus 1 would be 9. So our two solutions are either negative 9 and negative 8, or positive 8 and positive 9. Now, if it had said positive integers, then we could have thrown out that x equals negative 9 solution and move on from there. In problem 2, it says find two consecutive even integers whose product is 288, and I'm going to add in that I want these to be positive this time. What's a little different in this problem is that they're even integers. So if you think about consecutive even integers, 8, 10, 12, 14, they go up in steps of 2. So when we're dealing with even integers, if we let the first one be x, let me write that a little differently. If we let the first one be x, the second one will be x plus 2. So again, we're told that their product, x times x plus 2, equals 288. We're going to distribute, and we're also going to bring over the 288. Our new equation will be x squared plus 2x minus 288 equals 0. Now this may not be the easiest one to factor. When that last constant term gets large, it's a little harder to think of factor pairs that work. One thing that you could do is take the square root of 288. That will get you in the ballpark, and we want to find two numbers that are two apart from each other that are close to that number. So let me go ahead and switch out to my my scientific calculator. I use the Desmos scientific calculator. And if I push square root 288, notice there I get an answer that's close to 17. So I want to be looking at numbers that are close to 17, that are two apart. And if you try 16 and 18, those are the magic pair. So this is going to factor to be x plus 18 times x minus 16 equals 0. The first factor gives us a solution of x equals negative 18, but we can throw that out because I said that I want these to be positive. The second solution is x equals 16, and if we add 2 to that to get the second number, we get 18. So those are consecutive even integers, two even integers, that are 2 apart from each other, and their product is 288. So 16 and 18 works here. Okay, let's try one more. This time it says find 2 consecutive odd integers whose product is 575. I'm going to ask for these to be negative this time. Now, odd integers, we just used x and x plus 2 for even, and a common mistake is to think that we should use x and x plus 1 for odd, but odd numbers are also 2 apart. If you start counting consecutive odd numbers, 5, 7, 9, 11, what you'll notice is that they're 2 apart from each other. So the first number can still be represented by x, and the second by x plus 2. So the setup, whether we're working with odd or even consecutive integers, is always the same, x and x plus 2. Now we're told their product is 575. We'll distribute and rewrite this in the form where we have the trinomial equal to 0. So I'll subtract 575 from both sides. And now it's a matter of finding the right factor pairs here. I know it's going to be x and x. And I want to find 2 numbers that multiply to 575 that are 2 apart from each other. And if you take the square root of 575, you're going to get close to 24. So maybe moving up 1 and down 1 kind of works there. And if we check 23 times 25, it does equal 575. So I've got x plus 25 times x minus 23. That's going to leave me with that positive 2x term in the middle. One solution is x equals negative 25. The other is x equals positive 23, which we throw out in this case because I wanted them to be negative. X plus 2 equals negative 23. So negative 25 and negative 23 are your solutions. Now, I use factoring, but if you don't want to invest a lot of time in factoring this trinomial, you could also use the quadratic formula. Let's take a look at how that would have solved. A was 1, B was 2, C was negative 575. So x equals the opposite of b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. X is going to equal negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 575. And that is all going to go over 2 times 1. Continuing on, x equals negative 2 plus or minus the square root. Well, I'm not sure why I wrote 2 to the 4th power there. I'm pretty sure I said 2 squared, which is 4. Minus 4 times 1 times negative 575. That equals positive 2,300. And that's all over 2. So now we have x equals negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 2,304 all over 2. Do you know the square root of 2,304? Neither do I. So let's take a look at the calculator. Square root 2304, and what we have there is 48. So come back to the screen. I'm going to start up here again. X equals negative 2 plus or minus 48 over 2. Negative 2 plus 48 over 2 equals 46 over 2 equals 23. Negative 2 minus 48 over 2, that is negative 50 over 2, or negative 25, and that was the one we were looking for. So it takes a little more work. If you can factor, you're going to save some time, but there are other routes that you can go if you choose to. Okay, we'll pick it up in the next video with some geometry-based problems.